Arkham Horror, the card game, the Dunwich legacy. Prologue. Dr. Henry Armitage pours himself a glass of Pinot and sits down at his desk, gesturing for you to sit across from him. I apologize for the short notice, he begins. His face is pale, his forehead sweaty and wrinkled with worry. Armitage, the head librarian of Miskatonic University and a former mentor of yours, privately contacted you in the hopes of gaining your assistance. To help, you made your way to his home on South Side. Upon entering, you were surprised to find his home in disarray. Books and notes litter his desk, and an empty bottle of wine is tipped over onto the ground by the fireplace. You'd always known Armitage to be neat and well organized. The elderly man takes a moment to collect his thoughts. I am looking for two of my colleagues, Dr. Francis Morgan, professor of archaeology, and Warren Rice, professor of languages. Warren was supposed to meet up with me over supper earlier today to discuss several important findings, but he has since gone missing. At first I thought nothing of it, but I have a nagging feeling something else is going on, a very familiar feeling. You'd never seen Armitage quite this worried before. His hands tremble as he reaches for the glass on his desk, and he sips from it nervously. I tried to find Francis, hoping he knew where Warren was, but he too was out of touch. Francis has been spending a lot of time in some gambling den, or so I'm told. I sent for you because I am worried Warren might be in trouble. I would appreciate it greatly if you could find him for me. You may also wish to ask Francis for help if you can reach him. The investigators must decide. Professor Warren Rice was last seen working late at night in the humanities department of Miskatonic University. Let's search for him there. Proceed with scenario 1A, extracurricular activity, if you wish to find Professor Warren Rice first. Dr. Francis Morgan was last seen gambling at the Culver Club, an upscale speakeasy and gambling joint located downtown. Let's go talk to him. Proceed with scenario 1B, the house always wins, if you wish to find Dr. Francis Morgan first. We're going to play extracurricular activity. We're going to start with 1A. Scenario 1A, extracurricular activity. Dr. Armitage is worried his colleague, Professor Warren Rice, might be in trouble, so he has asked for your help in finding his friend. He seems unreasonably nervous about his colleague's disappearance, considering Professor Rice has only been missing for a matter of hours. Okay, so this is the first scenario in the Dunwich legacy, which is actually pretty fun. So I've already done a dry run through, which kind of helps me a little bit. All cards are shuffled and such. So we're going to play Jim Culver. I decided upon him this time. I wanted to play a mystic, and we'll do a solo on him. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see how he does here. So I'm hoping things are okay. Everything's already shuffled and ready to go. So if anybody wants to join in and say hello, you can. So let's see. So Jim Culver is a mystic, and he's very good on willpower, average on investigation and combat, weak on agility. So I basically built the deck pretty much to help with agility, because he's already pretty strong on pretty much everything else here. All right, we're going to play easy level, of course. It's always fun just to play easy. All right, so we're going to draw 5 cards first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Emergency cash, always good to have supplies. Final Rhapsody, that goes away. Perception, I'll take that. Ritual Candles, that's good to have. Blinding Light. It's a nice spell. I really like to get an asset or an ally out. All right, so we'll probably get those two. We'll get the Machete and Hypnotic Glaze. The Machete I definitely would like to have. All right, so we'll shuffle this. Awesome sauce. All right, the encounter deck is set here. Still waiting for an encounter deck dashboard, which will be very nice when we get that. Okay. So let's see how this works. So we start in the Miskatonic Quad. A too early winter has stripped the trees bare. Their dead branches whistle as a sharp, cold wind cuts across the empty quad. Flip. No clues. And here you can resign. We can't find Rice anywhere. You leave the campus hoping Armitage will forgive you. Surrounded by fences and gates of wrought iron, you can't help but feel as much a prisoner here as a guest. Okay. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, I just don't have enough room on this desk, but what are you going to do? Put that down there. Let's see. Let's get that. These over a little bit. We're going to play 1, 2, 3. Put out the machete, which is always good to have. We're going to play emergency cash, second act, to gain 3 resources. 1, 2, 3. And we'll put out ritual candles for 1 resource. That's the third action. We'll keep perception to hypnotic glaze. We got to get ready first before we head out and start heading anywhere. I did a dry run on the first time on this scenario. It actually turned out to be pretty interesting how it went. All right, so those are his actions. No enemies. Gain a supply. Draw a card. Getting blinding light. All right, so Agenda 1A. You have arrived at the Miskatonic University campus in search of Professor Warren Rice. Classes are over, and a mysterious silence hangs in the air over the quad. Act 1A, after hours. Professor Rice was last seen several hours ago by one of Armitage's students in the Humanities Building. We need 3 clues to advance that act. 7 Doom on Quiet Halls. So go first the Doom there, and we'll draw a card and get a Whippoorwill. Ooh, okay. Aloof and a hunter. So we have a Whippoorwill here, which is a pain in the butt. It's aloof, so it does not engage with us. I'm probably gonna have to kill it anyway, because while I'm at that Whippoorwill, it's a hunter, so it'll follow me wherever I go. Okay, so got a Whippoorwill. It is vowed that the birds are psychopomps lying in wait for the souls of the dying. H.P. Lovecraft, the Dunwich Horror, and actually that was one of his better. He really hasn't written a bad story, but the Dunwich Horror was excellent. And then I read pretty much almost everything he did. So Whippoorwill, it's easy to kill. Pretty easy to kill, actually. Okay, so we'll engage it. It's aloof, so we'll engage it, which is 1 action. Second action, we'll attack it. So it's a 3 on a 2. And we use the machete, so it's +1 for that attack, so it's a 4. So it's a 4 on a 2. So 4 on a 2. Skull, -1, but Jim Culver, treat the modifier on tokens revealed as a 0. We do not fail, we kill it. It goes away. Third action will move into the Humanities Building. Professor Rice was last seen in the Humanities Building, teaching one of his Latin classes. The murky windows of the weather-worn structure emit no light, and the night is silent around you. There are 2 clues there. At the end of your turn, if you are in the Humanities Building, discard the top X cards of your deck, where X is the amount of horror on you. The power is out, plunging the building's halls into heavy darkness. There is no sign of Professor Rice. So we're in the Humanities Building. That was the third action. So we are going to... So no enemies. Reset. That. Draw a card. Getting Shriveling. One of the more darker spells you can cast as a mystic. Oh yeah. After you After you get a skull thing here, a symbol is revealed during a test you're performing. You get +1 value for this test. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. You beat it anyway. So the skull actually helps. Okay, so no enemies. Upkeep is done. So we now put a doom on the counter. Draw a card. Getting a thrall. Location with the most clues. Retaliate. So now I got to get this guy here. Thrall. Location with the most clues. Right now that is the most clues. And he engages with me. So I got a thrall to deal with. Okay. So let's see. All right. So first action, I got to attack it. We're going to go with the machete. So it is, again, 3 + 1 is 4. If there's the only attack I'm engaged with you, it attacks plus 1 damage. It does too. So 3 + 1 is 4. And we'll go ahead and draw. So it is 4 on 2. We succeed and we kill it. Second action, we go to the humanities building. We got to go for clues. So we got 2 clues on there. So we investigated a 3. And we will. There's 3 on 3. And utilize perception. Max 1 committed per skill test. This test is successful. Draw a card. So it's going to be 5 on 3. And we succeed. So if that becomes a 3 on 3, we gain a clue. That was the second action. We draw a card. Getting Alyssa Graham. And for the third action, I'm going to use 3 supply. 1, 2, 3. And put out Shriveling. Shriveling gets 4 charges on it. And that will do it for that. That was the third action. So, no enemies, reset, resource. I love this thing. Draw a card, getting the 45 automatic. Even though he's a mystic, having a gun doesn't hurt. All right. So, Doom goes on the threat. Threat goes on the Doom. Doom on the agenda. And draw a counter card, getting Eager for Death. Test 2 willpower. Increase the skill test difficulty by 1 for each damage on you. If you fail, take 2 horror. If they can catch the fleeting soul when it leaves the body, they instantly flutter away, chittering in demonic laughter. H.P. Lovecraft, The Dunwich Horror. Test 2 willpower. Well, his willpower is very high. It's a 4. I don't think I need to add anything. So, test difficulty by 1. I have no damage. So it's a 4 on 2. And we succeed. So nothing happens there. So now it's his turn. So we will try to get the clue. So it's going to be 3. Let's see. What do I want to do here? We're going to do 3 on 3 to get it. So 3 on 3, first action. 0, succeed, get the clue. Second action, we will move into the Orne Library. 3 floors of weathered gray granite. The library looks more like a reliquary than a place of learning. Stone gargoyles snarl down from above arched windows, and Latin script winds around the double doors at the top of a wide set of stone steps. There's 1 clue on it. You must spend 1 additional action to investigate the Orne Library. So we're already on the third act. So we we investigated, we killed the one, we killed the thrall, investigated. Now we were a third action, the Orn library. So we can't investigate on that. So we killed the one, killed the thrall. That was the first action. Investigated, second action, moved it. That's the third. So that we're out of actions. No enemies. Upkeep. Supply. Getting a card. Getting Dr. Milan Christopher. Gonna have to put out one of those allies. Okay. All right. So that was a reset. So place one doom on the agenda. Draw a card. Getting Light of a Forgamon. Peril, revelation. You must attach Light of a Forgamon to either the current agenda or the current act. Limit 1 per agenda act. Treat all damage as direct damage and all horror as direct horror. So that means that any damage I take can only go to me. It cannot go to an ally, I believe. Damage and all horror is direct horror. You must attach either the current agenda or the current act. Well, I'm going to put it to the current act because I think I'm about to go ahead and beat the act, and that will get rid of it. So, okay. I got 6 people watching. And nobody's saying hello. Say hello. This may not be your cup of tea. I get it, but I love the game. I gotta enjoy other stuff before I get back at the inside pitch in 3 weeks. I'm not gonna be able to do anything else after that. All right, so it's turn. Must spend 1 additional action to investigate the Orn library. So I have to investigate that. So I gotta do 2 actions in order to investigate the library. So 2 actions, and I'm going to get rid of Elisa Graham to add. So he's a 3 plus 1 is a 4. We're not going to use her. So it's going to be a 4 on 3. So 4 on 3 for the investigate. Minus 1, that's a 3 on 3. We get the clue. Okay. So before we go our third action, we're going to utilize the 3 clues and advance the act, which gets rid of Vargamon. And we read it. You were unable to find Professor Rice, but one of the students you spoke with mentioned a strange man entering Rice's office. Unfortunately, the door leading to the faculty offices is locked at this late hour. The student says that the head janitor, Jazz, might be able to let you in if you can find him. Shuffle the encounter discard pile and the set-aside Jazz Mulligan into the encounter deck. So here is the pile. This goes back into it. And we get Jazz Mulligan into there. And now we go to Act 2A. Rice's whereabouts. Concerned for Professor Rice's safety, you seek out the head janitor, who can let you into the locked sections of the campus. Spend 1 clue, discard the top 5 cards of the encounter deck, top 10 instead if there's 1 player in the game. All right, so I gotta get control of him. So we have to move. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm going to, my third act, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put out Dr. Milan Christopher, which will help immensely, actually, because he gives us +1 to investigate. As the third act. Okay, so no enemies, reset, resource, draw. Getting blinding light. This makes this thing so much. Having this makes this game even more fun. I don't know about pulling card tokens all the time. All right, so Mythos phase, Doom on the agenda. That makes 5. Draw a card. Ancient Evils. Place 1 Doom on the current agenda. This effect can cause the current agenda to advance. Wonderful. So now there is 6 on there, which means we'll advance the next turn. All right, so I gotta find Jazz. So the first move is to the, let's see. We have to go back to the Miskatonic Quad first. That's the first act. So we'll go to the Student Union as the next act, I think. Next act. We want to go to the Science Building. Where do we want to go? Let's see. Or we could go to the Administration Building. We'll go to the Student Union. Even at this late hour, you can hear a muffled chatter from inside the Student Union. Perhaps one of the students will know where Professor Rice is. Flip. There are 2 clues there. Forced after Student Union is revealed, put the set-aside dormitories into play. And that's that. So now we'll move these up a little bit and put the dormitories up. So the dormitories is locked. All right. Third act, we'll go ahead and investigate. He is a 3. Milan Christopher gets a +1, so it's a 4-on-1, which we succeed. We'll get it. And there were 2 clues on there. There's 1. I want to get another clue before I do anything. So that was the third act. No enemies, reset, resource, draw. Getting Moonlight Ritual. Remove all doom from 1 card you control. Okay. All right, so that's going to advance the agenda is going to advance because it's going to get a doom on it, which will advance the agenda. The university is dead silent. The shadows coil about your feet as you walk, and you swear there is something following you with each step you take. Is it just your imagination, or is there really someone or something stalking you? Each investigator with 5 or more cards in his or her discard pile takes 1 horror. Well, we have only 3 cards in the discard pile, so we don't take any horror. If the players have completed the House Always Wins, advance directly to Agenda 2B. If extracurricular activity is the first scenario in the campaign, advance to Agenda 2A, and that is what we're going to do. Agenda 2A, Dead of Night. Professor Rice's disappearance isn't the only thing amiss at the university. You're unsure exactly what is going on, but you're starting to believe Armitage was right in asking for your help. Each investigator's maximum hand size is reduced by 3 while checking his or her hand size during the upkeep phase. So that means I can have reduced by 3. So I have, right now I have 5, but that's during the upkeep phase. So I can only have, means I really can only have 2. Well, my maximum hand size for Culver actually, with maximum hand size reduced by 3. So I think 5 is as much as I can have. Let's see here. Yeah, I think maximum hand size for Jim Culver. So my maximum hand size is 8. So that means I can only have no more than 5. Or does that mean, or I sometimes don't understand that, or does that mean that it's reduced by 3 every round? So if my maximum hand size is 5, does that mean it's reduced by 2, by 3 more after that? Reduced by 3 while checking his or her hand size during the upkeep phase. I wonder if that's, what if that's, so my maximum hand size is 8. That means it could be 5, and then it should be 2, if that's true. I have to look at that. I think that's right. So let's see, but that's so we still have to draw an encounter, and we get another whippoorwill, aloof, hunter. Another whippoorwill. The student union, it's aloof, so it's not engaging me. It's not engaging me, it's aloof. Each investigator whippoorwill's location gets -1, -1, -1, -1. The whippoorwills are a pain in the butt. We actually do have to kill them. So I'm going to attack the whippoorwill, get rid of it. So we're going to be 3 plus 1 is 4 for the machete. But it does reduce -1 here, so it's a 3 actually. And I'm going to use blinding light to add to that. So it's actually going to, well, actually, no, that's a wrong one. Wrong. Actually, so what is it here? So it is 3. Probably better to use the spell. Shriveling. Spend a charge. Fight. This attack uses willpower instead of deals +1 damage. Well, we can get the ritual here. So it's 3. If I use the machete, +1 is 4, but it's -1 to the whippoorwill because it flies, obviously. So it's a 3. So it'll be a 3 on 3. I use the machete. So it's a 3 on 3 is what it would be. If I use shriveling, though, spend a charge, it uses the willpower. The willpower is higher, so that's 4. It's 4. But it's still -3. It doesn't really matter. So let's go. Let's do it. Okay. We're going to try to kill the whippoorwill. So it's actually a 2. So it's going to be 3 on, it's 3 plus 4 is 3 plus 1 is 4 from the machete. The whippoorwill's a 2, -1 because of that. So it's a 3 on 2. And we get that -1, -3 if there are 10 or more cards in your discard pile. However, that symbol using ritual candles, after that symbol is revealed during a test you're performing, you get +1 skill value for the test. So because the ritual candles actually kills it, still got it. It was a 2 on 2, so it still killed it. So that's the first action. Second action, we'll go ahead and try to get the clue. So it is 3 plus 1 is 4 on 1. Succeed, get the clue. And now the third action, we're going to spend a clue and try to find Jazz. So spend 1 clue, discard the top 10 cards. If there's one, discard the top 5 cards in the counter deck. Top 10 instead if there's 1 player in the game. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Failed. All right. And that was the third action. So we failed that time. I still have another clue to get. All right. Oh, yeah. We also got a victory point for the Orin Library, so that'll help. So we get 1 victory for that. Okay. So no enemies. Resource. Reset. Redraw. Getting a flashlight. And that does it. Now it says each investigator's maximum hand is reduced by 3. So, what I have in my hand? That's what I don't understand. Each investigator's maximum hand size reduced by 3 while checking his or her hand size during the upkeep phase. So, discard down to 8 cards. So, if my maximum hand size is 8, it should be 5. So, I got to get rid of a card. And we will get rid of. I don't think I really need the flashlight. But I'll get rid of the 9. I like that. So we're down to 5. Okay. So Doom goes on the agenda. Encounter card. Getting offer of power. Pack. Revelation. You must either choose one, draw 2 cards, and place 2 Doom on the current agenda. This effect can cause the current agenda to advance or take 2 horror. Ouch. So we can either draw 2 cards and place 2 Doom on the current agenda or take 2 horror. Or offer of power. A voice inside your head offers you power for a price. Well, we're going to take a horror. Take 1 horror, and he can take a horror, and he will. So Alon Christopher will take a horror. He will take one. All right. The good news is no enemies. Okay. So back to the investigation phase. Let's find the next spend a clue. First action. Try to find him again. 1, 2, 3. There he is. 3. We still complete the rest of the 4. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We get rid of some nasty cards that way too. So Jazz Mulligan. Revelation. Put Jazz Mulligan into play at your location. He's at the student union. While Jazz Mulligan is not controlled by an investigator, he gains Parley. Test 3. If successful, take control of Jazz Mulligan. While you control Jazz Mulligan, you ignore the text on each unrevealed Miskatonic location, which means I'll open any door I want. So that was the first action. Second action, we're going to Parley. So 3 more plus 1 is 4. So 4 on 3. We succeed. So we now have him. Jazz Mulligan is there. So now we go to the third act. So now we can go anywhere we want with him. But when we take control of Jazz Mulligan, we advance the act. You convince Jazz that something strange is going on and that Professor Rice may be in danger. He doesn't trust you enough to hand you his keys, but agrees to come with you. All of a sudden, you hear a crash coming from the science building, and a student rushes towards you. "Help!" he cries. "There's some kind of animal loose in the chem labs. I only barely caught a glimpse of it, but..." He shudders. "I think it's heading to the dorm. You got to do something." If the Alchemy Labs location is not in play, put it into play, which is here. We'll not put that in play. If your agenda 1 or 2 spawn set aside the experiment in the Alchemy Labs. This is a very nasty little monster. If you've completed the house always wins, put the set-aside alchemical concoction into play underneath the Alchemy Labs. If extracurricular activity is the first scenario of the campaign, remove the set-aside alchemical concoction from the game instead. So unfortunately, I like starting with starting with this one anyway. So the alchemical concoction I don't get to use. So there's that. Now we go to Act 3, Campus Safety. You have only moments to react. You could warn the students in the dormitories and escort them to safety, or continue your task of searching the faculty offices for Professor Rice, or perhaps you could try to slay the beast that threatens the campus. We have a little time to do that before the experiment gets into the dormitories. We have a little time. A little bit of time. The experiment, massive. The experiment gets +3 health. This has 10 health. When the enemy phase begins, ready the experiment. Objective: the experiment is defeated, advance to Act 3B. So I have to complete an objective on another encounter card. So we are at the third. So we're at the third act, and we're okay for now. I still got plenty of health and everything to try to complete this. So I may be able to kill the thing, but gotta be careful. Let's see if we continue here. We got a little time here. For the third, we're going to move from the student union into, let's see, the dormitories or back to the quad. Let's move into the dormitories. The door leading into the dormitories is locked. You cannot move in the dormitories, but we have Jazz Mulligan, so it automatically opens up. Objective: if investigators in the dormitory spend 3 clues as a group. Spend 3 clues as a group. So we actually got to still get 3 clues here. But there are 3 clues, on here. So there are 3 clues on the dormitories. As you explore these old, well-kept buildings, you find yourself wondering whether the beds are comfortable. All right, so let's no enemies. The experiment is massive. I forget what massive means. I think it means it cannot be right. Massive, you cannot evade it. Let's see, massive. Massive is a keyword. A ready enemy with the massive keywords can be engaged with each investigator at the same location. An exhausted enemy with the massive keyword is not considered to be engaged. Massive keyword cannot be placed in an investigator's threat area. When the enemy with the massive keyword attacks, so it does. The massive enemy does not move with an engaged investigator who moves away from the massive enemy's location. So, okay, so it just means that they're engaged with everything. All right, very well. Okay, so all right. So get a resource, reset, redraw, and getting shriveling. And I gotta still drop a card here, and we're gonna get rid of another blinding light. Okay. All right, so Doom on the agenda. Encounter card, locked door. Attach the location with the most clues and without a locked door attached. The attached location cannot be investigated. That hurts. Test 4 to break down the door or 4 to pick the locks. If you succeed, discard locked door. That hurts. That hurts. Well, it does 4 willpower. So I take it. So with our first action, we got to test 4 to break down the door, 4 to pick the locks. His strength is a 3. Add the machete, makes that a 4. And makes that a 4. You think with Jazz Mulligan here, you would think that would be unlocked. That's the thing. Jazz Mulligan, while you control, you ignore the text on each unrevealed miskatonic location. But yet, okay, so you're telling me he can open up the doors on this. He can open up the doors on the locations, but he can't open this one up. Okay. I guess there's certain keys he doesn't have. All right. So it is. So we're a 3 plus 1 with the machete is 4. And I really got to break that door down. I'll use 1 shriveling to make sure I get it. So it's a 5 on 4. We succeed. It's gone. Now we investigate. Second act. So it is 3 plus 1 is 4 on 1. Get a clue. Third action, same thing. 3. Oh, yeah. And after you successfully investigate, you gain a resource. And we'll do it again. Actually, it's supposed to be exhausted. Exhausted, doesn't matter. So we'll do it again. So 4 on 1. Succeed, get another clue. Now 2 clues. That was the third act. No enemies. Reset. Get a resource. Draw. And we get Final Rhapsody. Reveal 5 chaos tokens in the chaos bag. For each skull or overall or auto fail token, take 1 damage and 1 horror. So we got to do this 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. Talk about lucky. Didn't get anything. It goes away. When the dead start talking about what scares them, that's when it's time to listen. Okay, so Doom goes on the horror. It will go ahead and advance the agenda. A cry of fear echoes through the campus, and several students flee from the eastern side of the university, where the science building can be found. Could this commotion be linked to Professor Rice's appearance? If the dormitory's location is not as play, put it into play. If the experiment is in play, move it 1 location toward the dormitories. If the experiment is not in play, spawn it in the science building. So the experiment now is in the science building. It just moves, and now it's coming my way. Experiment gone wrong. Agenda 3A, the beast unleashed. Some kind of wild creature is on the loose. Whatever it is, it appears to be headed toward the university dormitories. Force, with this agenda, would advance by reaching its doom threshold. Instead, remove all doom in play and move the experiment 1 location toward the dormitories. Objective, if the experiment enters the dormitories, advance. So the experiment is moving very slowly. Pretty much of almost like 6 rounds to deal with the thing. So I have 6, in a way, almost 6 rounds to deal with it. All right, we do have to draw a card. Visions of Futures Past. Test 5 willpower. For each point you fail by, discard the top card of your deck. So it's 5 willpower. He's a 4. He's a 4. And we're just gonna go on it. So we're gonna go 4 on 5. And we lose. We only miss by 1, so we discard the top card of the deck, which is overpower, and that's it. 3 people watching, nobody saying anything. Come on, people, just say hello. Even if this is not your cup of tea, say hello. You see me doing something wrong, that's okay too. I'm not perfect at this game, but I think it's a lot of fun. All right, so back to the first act. So we have our first action. Let's get that final clue first of anything. So at least if I can, maybe I can deal with that experiment. So let's at least get the final clue. So 3 plus 1 is 4 on 1. Succeed, we get the clue. So we now have 3 clues. So now if I spend the 3 clues, I will end this scenario. But let's see if there's anything we can do about this thing. I already have enough clues to save the kids. But now I want to see if I can, if we can maybe do some damage to it. So Bob's Tabletop Sports. There you go. At least somebody's saying hello. I mean, I understand this is not everybody's cup of tea, but I don't want to play baseball all the time. I'm going to get some hockey bones on this desk soon, too. But I love Arkham. So, all right. So the second move, I'm going to continue my search. So second move, we move back into the student union. And the third act, my thing is, where are the faculty offices? I guess I have to go to for the third, I'm going to move back into the Miskatonic Quad. So this is a great game. It is a great game. It's an awesome game. I have everything. I have everything Arkham Horror. I have everything. I have everything Arkham Horror, and I even repurchased the updated stuff. All right, so that takes care of the actions. So no enemies. So reset. Go up there. Get a card. Getting perception. And we're no longer have to deal with 5 or that. Have to deal with a -3. Okay. All right. So horror goes on, and we draw a card. Getting light of a Forgamon. Peril. You must attach light of a Forgamon to either the current agenda or the current act. Limit 1 per agenda act. Treat all damage as direct damage and all horror as direct horror. I'll attach it to the act because pretty much. Oh yeah, I completed I got all the dormitories, so I now have 2 experiments. So light of Forgamon gets attached. I'll attach it to the act. I like you can buy an entire campaign together instead of buying individual booster packs. That's what I had, all the individual booster packs. I gave them away to somebody, and I bought all the boxes again. I rebought all the boxes. One of the reasons why I did that is because I loved the way they now do the campaigns like this. Instead of individual sheets in each card pack folded and all that stuff, they actually went ahead and now put it in a very nice spiral book. Very nice. That's why I did that. Another reason why I did it. Plus, some of the cards were updated. So I also did that as well. I have everything. I can't wait for the Drowned City. Cthulhu finally shows up. All right, so it's his turn. Let's move into the administration building. So I think I can go there, right? Yeah, it's administration building because the experiment is in the science building. So first move is the administration building. That's our first action. Around the aged administration building, creepers of ivy climb from the ground in an effort to claim it. The old hall stands alone in an isolated section of the campus, apart from the day-to-day bustle of students. Forced. After administration building is revealed, put the set-aside faculty offices in play, which we put here. The faculty offices, the night is still young. Forced. At the end of your turn, if you are in the administration building, discard the top card of your deck. The door leading into the faculty offices is locked. You cannot move into the faculty offices. However, we have Jazz. So Jazz Mulligan, while you control Jazz Mulligan, you can ignore the text on each unrevealed Miskatonic location. So that doesn't mean anything. So I can move into that. That's the third. So that will be, and there is a clue there, but it doesn't really matter here. So we're going to move into the third act. We're going to move into the faculty offices. Forced. After faculty offices revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a humanoid enemy and spawn it here. Shuffle the encounter deck. A humanoid enemy. Okay, so did you repurchase base 2? Yes, I have. I did repurchase I did get the revised core set. Yes. So after faculty reserves for a humanoid enemy, and it can be anything. So we're going to use a thrall. We're going to put a thrall there, and we'll engage the thrall. Not much room on this desk though. Shuffle the encounter deck. This I got from Etsy. I got like 4 of these different colors, and this thing is a godsend. Makes it so much easier to play. No crowdedness or anything like that. And I got something coming for these cards as well, which I should be getting in a couple of days. All right, so I have a thrall engaged with me. Wonderful. Okay. Location with the most clues, and it has retaliate. Shuffle the encounter deck. Investigators in the faculty, and there are 2 clues on there. If investigators in the faculty offices spend 2 clues as a group, R1. So, all right. So that was it. That was my third action. The thrall was actually going to do some damage to me. So I'm going to take one. It's going to do one horror and one horror. I'll put the horror on him, and I'll put the damage on Jazz also. He can be a little bit of a blocker. Okay. All right. So reset, get resource, draw. Yeah, Jim's trumpet. That's very good. All right. So advance the doom. So take the two doom off, and now moves into the Miskatonic quad. So now it is in the Miskatonic quad. In location toward the dormitory. So now it goes to the Miskatonic quad. All right. I got to kill a thrall first. Wait. All right. So now I got to draw a card. Pushed into Beyond. Choose and shuffle a non-story asset you control into your deck and discard the top 3 cards of your deck. If a copy of that asset is discarded, take 2 horror. So we're non-story. So I'll take a flashlight. And what do we do here? It says enter your deck and discard the top 3 of your deck. So it goes into the deck, not the discard pile. I like having the actual chaos bag. I got coin case protect. I have them too. I have coin cases as well. It's a little bit easier for me to use the app on the phone. All right. I have coin cases for the chaos bag as well. So choose and shuffle. So discard the top 3 cards of your deck. If a copy of that asset is discarded, take 2 horror. So I cannot see flashlight for these 3 cards. And we did, and we take 2 horror. All right. I'll take it. He can handle. He's got 8 horror. We lose the overpower and that. Pushed into the beyond. All right. Okay, so all right, so our turn. I got to kill the thrall. So we're gonna do 3 plus 1 for the machete is 4. Only takes 2 damage, but that's okay. So 3 plus 1 is 4, and I'm not gonna use anything else. So 3 plus 1 is 4 on 2. So 4 on 2. That's a skull, but that's -1 if you fail, but we don't. Plus, Jim Culver treats the modifier tokens you reveal as a 0 and ritual candles. If you get that, you get +1 skill. So we kill the thrall. Second, we'll go ahead and gain these clues. So it's 2 on here. So it is 3. Along Christopher. So 3 plus 1. So 4 on 2. That's a -1, but we're still going to pass that. So we'll get the clue. And that's the third. And we'll do it again for the third act because this thing is not moving. It's not moving. And so we'll do again. 3 plus 1 is 4 on 2. So 4 on 2. And that still succeeds. Because, as I said, because it's here the ritual candles, you get +1 skill test. So even though that says -1, that's actually a 0. So we get the clues. We have every clue we need now. That was the third act. Now, if I want, I could spend the 2 clues as a group for R1. So I can win either the faculty offices or the dormitories. I want to see if I can take out that experiment. I wonder if I can, though. I already got 3 hard. We get a victory point for that. And a victory for the faculty offices. We got 3 now. Okay, so no enemies. No enemies. We now have 10 very healthy resources plus 10. And we reset, recard. Getting paranoia. Discard all of your resources. You gotta be kidding me. Zoop. All gone. All gone. But the thing is, we actually get the one resource because you draw the card and then you gain the resource. So we lose all the resources, but then you get the resource back you draw the card first and then you draw the resource. So I lost all the resources. Had a whole bunch of money and then it's all gone. All right. So Doom, draw a card. Getting Ancient Evils. Ouch. Place one Doom on the current agenda. This effect can cause the current agenda to advance. So that will advance the agenda, and now the experiment is in the student union. Now the question is, what do you want to do here? I think we got to get the kids out of the dormitories. That was one thing I wasn't hoping I would get. My thing, what happens if I choose R1? So let's see what we do here. Okay. All right. So we are going to move one action, two action, three action with the experiment. With the experiment. Actually, no. We're going to move one, two. Not in. I want to move into the thing on the third one so I can move forward it. Or, so one, two. No, three. We'll move into it. So that is three. And so we're going to do, okay, so three. All right. So three. It will attack. It'll do 2 damage and 2 horror. So it will attack. I should be able to evade it. So the experiment is defeated. I don't think I'll be able to kill it. So enemy phase, it does 2 damage, 2 horror on me. I think we're going to 1 damage on Milan Christopher, 1 damage on me, and and 1 horror on me. The other horror will go on Mulligan, and he is going to be gone. So fortunately, he doesn't quite make it. Okay. All right. So reset. Draw a card. Getting Peter Silvestri. Getting a resource. Put a Doom on the location. New on the location, and very important encounter card is Arcane Barrier. Attach your location. Additional cost to move into or out of attached location. Test 4 willpower. If successful, discard Arcane Barrier. Otherwise, you must either cancel the effects of the move or discard the top 5 cards of your deck. That is not good. That is not good. Because now I can't move out. All right. So I have to evade it. I have to evade the experiment first of all. So I have to evade the experiment. Evasion is a 2. It will ready at the end. It will ready in the enemy phase. It will ready at the end of the investigation phase. So I have to evade it. So it's a 2 to evade. We have 2 here, and we're gonna go ahead and use that for 3. I have to evade it, and I got to use the 45 automatic, which is 4. So that's going to be a 4 on 2 to evade it, which it succeeds. 4 minus 2 is 2, so the experiment is evaded. We evaded it. So I'm just going to turn it sideways. Now I have to test willpower. Now I got to move, but I got to test willpower to move out of this arcane barrier. Willpower is a 4. We're going to use Jim's trumpet for 2. All that's going to be 1, 2, 3. It's going to be a 7. So 4 plus 3 is 7. So that's going to be 7 on 4. We succeed, which means we move into the dormitories, which gets rid of the arcane barrier. And we will go ahead and spend the 3 clues as a group and go to resolution and get the kids out. So resolution 2 is done. And it is. You pull each of the dormitory's fire alarms and usher the students out of the building's north exit, hoping to make your way off campus. Many of the students are confused and exhausted, but you believe an attempt to explain the situation will do more harm than good. Minutes later, a terrible screech echoes across the campus, piercing and shrill. You tell the students to wait and head back to the dormitories to investigate. Oddly, you find no trace of the strange creature, a prospect that worries you more than it relieves you. You hurry to the faculty offices to find Professor Rice, but there is no sign of him anywhere. So Professor Warren Rice was kidnapped. The students were rescued. Each investigator earns experience equal to the victory X of each value in the victory display. And our next scenario will be scenario 1B. The house always wins. So we go ahead and we get the kids out, and the experiment is evaded. Well, there's no way I was going to be able to kill it. That arcane barrier really could have hurt, but we went ahead and did this. JAA, I've watched so many playthroughs in this game, but I've never pulled the trigger, which is strange because this is right in my alley. I think I'll have to get it. JAA, just buy a copy of the core set. Okay, I'll be on. I've been purchasing this game since its inception. Okay, because I'm a very big fan of H.P. Lovecraft, and I've read all his works. And the Call of Cthulhu is still my favorite one of the bunch. But I also love At the Mountains of Madness. But and yet every time I read H.P. Lovecraft, I think I got to take a shower. Just pick up. I will tell you, bro. Just pick up a copy of the revised core set, and that's it. You don't have to get anything else. The revised core set has a nice. Yeah, you can get 1 core and 1 campaign, and I recommend the one I'm doing right now, the Dunwich Legacy, which is a very good starter campaign after the Night of the Zealot. Okay, but really, I would still say, just if you're not really sure, never really pull the trigger, just buy a copy of the core set. Just get the revised core set and play the Night of the Zealot campaign, which is on my channel. I just completed that again. Okay, so give it a try. Or what Bob's Tabletop Supporters is right. Get 1 core and 1 campaign. Pick up a copy of the Dunwich Legacy. That's a good one. Yeah, the ways you'd be able to get 4 core sets and a bunch of boosters. So it's much easier now. It is. It's a lot easier now that they repackaged it. So I'm telling you, JAA, just try it out. Get a copy of the revised core set. You'll have enough cards for 4 investigators, easily enough cards to play the campaign, which is very easy. And I forgot the Light of a Forgamon treated all damage as direct damage, so I'm going to take an extra horror in that because I forgot this was in play. Doesn't matter. It still doesn't kill me. So actually, Jazz Mulligan survives. Jazz Mulligan actually survived because I couldn't kill him. Good to know, and you'll definitely do that. Thank you for the info. Hey, I could try. Amazon, you can get a copy of the revised core set for cheap right now at Christmas time and all that. If you like, I have card sleeves. Yeah, Fantasy Flight makes it so much easier. I know. I have card sleeves for all my cards. I sleeve everything. They're much easier to shuffle, and they'll last a hell of a lot longer. But you don't have to do that. If you don't want to, just play it first and see what you like. And like I said, just get a copy of the revised core set. And if you like it, I would then go to the Dunwich Legacy, buy the Investigator expansion, and then the campaign expansion, and try that out and see if you like that. And I really think you will. I really think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll enjoy it. And if you like it, I mean, if this is up your alley, okay, I really think you'll find it a lot of fun. I mean, this is an app that doesn't come with the game. This is just something that is created. It makes it a lot easier for me than instead of using the chaos bag. But I have a chaos bag, all right, and you can draw tokens. Is what you do, all right. But the app is just a little bit easier for me to use for something like this, and and I think that I think you'll enjoy it. It's a fantasy. They're gonna go. I heard they're gonna make a turn for the game as well. The game is about to go into like a new. I don't know what they're about to do after Cthulhu, after the Drowned City, which will come out in February, which I'm really looking forward to playing. And if you like Marvel Champions, they also make Marvel Champions, which I have everything of that too. I have everything Lord of the Rings, but right now I'm kind of like an Arkham horror mode. And it's like I said, it's a lot of fun. You can make it. You can really make it as easy or as hard as you want. I mean, if you follow the rules as written, okay, it can be as easy or as hard as you want. And if you really find it too hard, then whatever. Take a token out of the chaos bag. So, for instance, let me see. I know I have the bag here someplace. No, I have it here somewhere. Where is the chaos bag? Weird. So what it does is it comes with a chaos bag, okay, a chaos bag, and it comes with you know, a whole bunch of tokens, just like it's on here. What you do, the best thing to do is, is to get, what you do is when you pull a token, you shake up the chaos bag, and you pull out a token. But with utilizing the game and the app makes it a little bit easier for me to, makes it a little bit easier for me to play with the app, so I can actually plus everyone can see it, and it's just a tap and it's done. The game can be very, like I said, the game. And like I said, if you want to play the chaos bag and you want to remove, and you just don't feel like losing everything, then forget it. Just go ahead and take out tokens. I mean, they say, oh, it's cheating. So what? Play the game like baseball demo says. Play the game you want the way you choose to play it. It's up to you to have the fun if it's frustrating. But, you can make it as easy or as hard as you want. That's the one thing I like about these games. You can make them as easy or as hard as you want. If you just want to play, want to make it as simple as possible, then it's fine. This was actually a very easy version. I almost played standards. It was actually too easy because I built my own deck. I didn't even use shriveling. I rarely ever used anything. Jim Culver is actually a very good investigator, I think, for the Dunwich legacy. You sleeve everything. Yeah, like I said, I use Dragon Shields. I use Dragon Shield clears for when both sides are used, and I use Dragon Shield matte when only one side of the card is being read. Trust me, there's a lot, and the game is infinitely replayable. It really is. So if you complete the campaign once, you may want to retry it again. It can go completely different because of the card draw. And you can choose a different investigator, which makes it much different as well. You can play 1 to 4. You can play true solo or play two-handed. Either way, there, JAA. I think you'd have a lot of fun. Like I said, just pick up a core. Don't have to shell out a whole bunch of money. Just pick up a core set. Pick up a revised core set. Make sure it's the revised one. You'll get it's the new one they have that was released in 2020, and it'll have all the cards you need, and all that. You should be getting commission check. You just bought the revised and Dunwich boxes. I'm sure Fantasy Flight will be more than happy to send me a check. So try it out, JAA. I think you'll find it. Don't let it frustrate you. Okay? It can be frustrating. Let me put it to you this way, JAA. And I have everything. I have all the game. I have all the campaigns all the way up to the Feast of Hemlock Vale, all the standalones. There's even a great standalone called Arkham Horror, which I actually have. I had to pay a little money for that, but I actually grabbed it a couple of years ago. Arkham Horror, which is use dogs and cats, which is funny as heck. But I think that but it's like I said, it's a lot of fun. But this is Arkham Horror. Let me be honest to you. This game is designed to kick your ass. It's designed to do that. So don't be mad or anything like that. If you're not able to complete it, try again. Try a different investigator. Use the starter decks first. I recommend if you've never tried it before. Use the starter decks first, and you should go ahead and succeed. And if you make a mistake, oh well. If it's a major mistake that could have cost you a win or a loss, then I would replay the scenario. If not, you move on. This here does not come with the game. These don't come with the game. This was made by Etsy. I had somebody make these for me by Etsy. And because plus the investigators are 1 to 4, I got 4 of them, each different color. And I'll tell you right now, these smell great, though. I'll tell you one thing. They have a very nice smell. Smell sweet. These are very nice. I got these from Etsy, which I thought would be a good thing because when you buy from Etsy, you support small business. And, of course, I have another thing coming from Etsy that's going to go ahead and take care of these cards of the Chaos Dashboard. Okay, I have something coming that'll handle those as well. Those are on the way. I should see those Monday or Tuesday. So I really think if you love a challenge, then let it kick your butt. I would play easy first and then try a standard. And standard actually is even more difficult. And the thing about it is the enemies don't get any stronger. What gets stronger is the chaos bag. So like, here's extracurricular activity. Okay, like for these tokens, it's -1, -1, -X on easy or standard. But then you try hard or expert, then becomes -2, -1. The tokens become a lot stronger. Okay. And that's a thing. This is the first scenario from the box you just ordered. The first scenario from the Dunwich Legacy, which is what I just started today. And, that's what I just started. So that this year I'm going to do another one. I'll probably do, you'll need those two. So I'll do another one. I'll probably do the House Always Wins, probably Monday night because I got to do, because I'm doing baseball tomorrow. We still got to finish off Fall Classic. And I'm going to try to get Hockey Bones on this board. I'm waiting for one more thing to show up from Hockey Bones, but I may try to get it on the board and not use a rink. But I want to try that game out. But the thing about it, the reason why I want to play this is, I know this is not everybody's cup of tea. I get it. Not everybody's into this junk. That's true. That's fine. But I only got 3 more weeks before I start 1983 for inside pitch. And once that starts, that's all I'll be doing is inside pitch until the 1983 season is done. That's why I like these 2-month layoffs. I get to do something else. So give it a try, JAA. I really think if this is something you like, and if you want, I would suggest maybe reading a quick short story from H.P. Lovecraft, and it'll give you a little bit of a kind of an inside look into what this game is, because everything here is based on Lovecraft. If you haven't read them before, and I think, as I said, I think you'll like it. I think you'll like the game, and it's like I said, it's a blast. I think it's a blast. It is frustrating, yes, sometimes, but when you win the game, I think you actually feel like you actually did something. And I'll be honest, I played this scenario a number of times for Dunwich, and this was one of the easier ones I had playing this, especially playing this investigator. There are so many investigators to choose from, by the way, JAA. Each in the core set, you get 5 investigators. In the Dunwich investigator box, you will get 5 more. In the Circle Undone, you'll get 5 more. In the Forgotten Age, you'll get 5 more. In the Path to Carcosa, you will get 5 more. You will have and you can use any of them for any campaign. Trust me, and they all different. If you want to play a mystic, or you want to play a rogue, you want to play a seeker, you want to play a guardian, you want to play a survivor. And JAA, there is plenty of YouTube stuff on this, plenty of it. Right now, there's one guy I'm actually liking a lot. It's called Quick Learning. That's the name of his channel, Quick Learning. And he goes into this game very well, to a point where actually watching him play just The Gathering and seeing how he did it, I said, wow, I've been doing this all wrong. So, and then when I started doing it a little, playing away with the strategies he's doing, I realized, wow, this is even better, because now I know really how to play the game. So Quick Learning is the channel I got him from, and he's pretty good. There's so many of them. There's lots of Arkham Horror card game stuff out there, playthroughs utilizing real cards, or utilizing the tabletop board simulator from Steam. There's so much you can learn from there, JAA. You'll never get you'll trust me, you'll have plenty of strategies, plenty of help to play the game. And it really doesn't get boring. I know this is not everybody's cup of tea. Okay, but hey, ID Jester will play this. He plays Marvel Champions. He plays Lord of the Rings. He plays a whole bunch of junk. But that's the one thing I like about Jester. He tries to show everybody what he's doing, what games there are. Maybe they'll be interested in playing it themselves. So you just got the revised and Dunwich boxes. When you get them, sleeve them. I would play The Gathering first. Take your time and use a starter deck from an investigator you like, and let me know how you liked it. On one of these, on one of these other things I'm going to do. Anyway, guys, thank you all for joining me tonight. Please leave a like on your way out through the movie theater. Subscribe if you're not done so, and make sure you hit the bell. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong. We'll see you guys next time for another edition of Arkham Horror. Have a good night, everyone.